GuitarLessons.com, the #1 name in guitar lessons online.
Welcome to GuitarLessons.com. In this lesson we're going to be learning just a few shapes for our minor 7th arpeggios. So let's take this shape right here, regular E minor bar chord shape, starting on the 5th fret. And that's going to be our basis for this arpeggio. So if you know your regular minor arpeggio for this shape already, all we're going to do is add the minor 7th to that, and that'll give us our minor 7th arpeggio. I'll play it for you real quick, then we'll break it down. So really you're just adding this note right here. It's just a G, and this G right here. That's on the 5th fret of the D, and the 8th fret of the B string. So, if you start with your index finger on the 5th fret with the downstroke, upstroke on the 8th fret with your pinky of that same string, downstroke on the 7th fret of your A string, downstroke on the 5th fret of your D string, upstroke on the 7th fret of that same string, downstroke on the 5th fret of your G string, downstroke on the 5th fret of your B string, upstroke on the 8th fret of that same B string, downstroke on the 5th fret of your high E string, and then an upstroke on the 8th fret of your high E string. That's the whole thing going up, so I'll do that slowly for you. To come back down, I just pull off, and an upstroke on the 8th fret of your B string, downstroke on the 5th fret with your index, upstroke on the 5th fret of your G string, upstroke on the 7th fret of your D string, downstroke on the 5th fret of your D string, upstroke on the 7th fret of your A string, upstroke on the 8th fret of your low E string, and sometimes I pull off to the last note. And sometimes I pick it from an upstroke on the 8th fret to a downstroke on the 5th fret. It just depends what kind of mood I'm in, and if I want a smoother sound, or if I want a more percussive or a kind of a tacky sound. So the second shape we're going to learn is based off of an A minor shape. It's going to be a D minor chord. So we're going to have this familiar shape starting on the 5th fret with our bar, then just putting our A minor shape on there. Basically we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take this arpeggio, this common arpeggio, and we're going to add the 7th to that. And basically we're just going to be a C natural note, which is right here, 5th fret, G string, and then finally the 3rd finger is going to grab the C on the 8th fret on your high E string. We're just going to add those two notes to the arpeggio. So take your index finger on your 5th fret of your A string, play that note with a downstroke, and go to the 8th fret with your pinky and play that with an upstroke. 7th fret with your 3rd finger on the D string with a downstroke. Downstroke on the 5th fret of your G string with your index finger. Upstroke on the 7th fret, same string with your 3rd finger. Downstroke, next string over the B string on the 6th fret. Downstroke on the 5th fret of a high E string. Upstroke on the 8th fret, this is a big stretch right here, with your 3rd finger. And then if you let off with this index finger, it makes this stretch easy. You're going to come up with a downstroke on the 10th fret with your pinky. So that whole little phrase right there, The big stretch is this right here. Now on the way back down, I like to pull off those notes that I picked on the way up just to give it a different sound. You don't have to, you can pick them, or you can pull off like I do. So hit the first note. Let's say you're coming up. Just do a couple pull-offs. Then do an upstroke to come back down. Another upstroke to come back down. Down. Up. Up. And down again. Okay, so take these shapes, and when you're playing a song or learning a song, if you have a chart in front of you and you're improvising and you see a minor 7th chord, take these arpeggios, and say if you see a D minor 7th chord on your chart, take that arpeggio, and that's one thing, one weapon that you can use to play over some changes.